I should rename this series Outing Myself for Weird Quirks I Have About Manga. Honestly. Happy Manga Monday! Today we're back going through another shelf, outing myself, and sharing with you all what volumes on the shelf I've read and which I sadly have not read yet. We're gonna tackle the Shojo Beat shelf, so all about shoujo and romance today, I guess, but I hope you don't mind. And I just needed a chill, easygoing video after the more time-consuming deep dive I did on Gintama. If you haven't watched that, please could you go check it out? Just put it on in the background, anything. I'd be so eternally grateful. It's not getting the views, which I kind of expected because it is more niche and it is about just one topic, but I love Gintama so much, so I just would really appreciate it if you all would check it out. But yeah, my desperate pleas out of the way, and my hope that you've already hit that subscribe button if you love manga and anime content like I do. With that out of the way, let's tackle my Shojo Beat shelf, shall we? So we are over here with my Shojo Beat shelf, and I'm obviously just going to go through the series and the volumes from top all the way to the bottom. And yeah, some I might focus on more, some I might just skim right by. It all depends on how much I have to say about it and share with you all. So yeah, just let me know what you've read on my shelves and what you also haven't read, so I don't feel quite as bad about myself and my life choices and how little I feel like I've read on this shelf, but you can be the judge of that at the end of the video, I suppose. Starting from the top, and we have Angel Sanctuary. So very sadly, I have to admit, I have not read all of Angel Sanctuary. Do I want to? Yes, I do. I love a lot of Kaori Yuki's work, especially her detailed and gothic vibes art style. I have to share a few of the covers that I just absolutely love and am gobsmacked by how beautifully illustrated they are. And yet I am afraid to read it. I will admit that. I want it to be great, and I'm afraid it won't be great because although I love Kaori Yuki, I've found a lot of her works are hit and miss for me personally. So I'm a little nervous. All right. It's not because I'm lazy or anything, okay? It's because I'm nervous. Yeah. I'm procrastinating for a good reason, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I'm already coming out with the excuses, okay? I'm sorry. That's just how it's gonna go. Next up from Angel Sanctuary's 20-volume series, we have the much more manageable series Full Moon, complete at 7 volumes. And again, I love this art style. I think Arina Tanemura's art is also really pretty. I love her detailed outfits and cute kawaii style. I've also read a decent jumble from her, and again, I like things about her manga and other things not as much of a fan of. For my credit, I do have to say I watched the anime growing up and I really enjoyed the anime. However, I just have not actually gotten around to reading the manga part, okay? So it's like a halfway win. I don't know. Give me something. And next to that, we have Pita 10, complete at 8 volumes. So, yeah, we're just gonna go 3 for 3 here. I have not read Pita 10 either. I got nothing for that one. All right. Let's move on to the second shelf now. So first up is the short 3-volume series, also by Kaori Yuki. Very cute. I did read this one. Yay, me! Inserting applause and editing. So I feel better about myself. I read this one, I think just last year. Could have been the year before. Sometimes I'm really bad at remembering which year, but yeah. Anyway, semi-recently I read it, and sadly it was one of the ones that disappointed me. I just didn't vibe with the characters. The story felt very rushed at parts. It had a neat concept at its core, but I just couldn't connect. And so, yeah. However, still arting, still gorgeous as always. I just love her style. Like, you know, it's not even like her best, but like I still am a fan. And next to that, we have Saint Dragon Girl, complete at 8 volumes. Please shout me out in the comments if you've read Saint Dragon Girl, because I don't know if I've talked to anyone who has. And I love this one. It was so cute, so fun, just likable shoujo cuteness. Like, there's action and romance, obviously, and fantasy and pandas. I love pandas, so it definitely won me over even more with the inclusion of pandas. But yeah, it's like nothing special, but it just was a sweet little story, in my opinion, anyway. And next to that, we have 2 series that my friend gave me that she unhauled. One I bought, I think, and the other I think she just gave to me for my birthday. And first up, we have Spell of Desire, complete at 5 volumes. This one is the one that intrigues me more personally of the 2. I also gotta say, I love the art, which is why I was interested in buying the series from her. I believe this was the one I bought. But I absolutely just, I love the vibes, and I love it's more of an adult seeming fantasy romance. Moving on, we have Midnight Secretary. I love vampires, so I am interested to read this one. Again, we have a more adult romance, which I am excited to read. I'm hoping to read at least one of these in October this year or September. I feel like I should, for the spooky season vibes, and to at least have read one more series on the shelf. But yeah. Next to that, we have Demon Love Spell, which I think I bought off another friend of mine. And I did read volume 1. I didn't like it that much. Just didn't like it that much. And I'm so sad about it, because I want to like it. And I also want to give it more of a chance than just one volume to unhaul it, because it's only a 6-volume series. So yeah, but not a fan of the first volume, so I haven't finished it. However, after that, we have Meropuri, a short 4-volume series. It's kind of a weird one, I do admit. It's got a kind of age gap with an older high school girl and a younger, like, I don't know, middle school, elementary school age looking kid, but he's not always a little kid looking. Yeah, you have to read it to understand it, but is it a little problematic in some regards? Probably, sure. But I liked it. Let's move on now. Next to that, we have the short 2-volume series, Meteor Prince. I absolutely love this one, okay? I have reread it so many times because it's just a little dose of sweet cuteness. It starts out with like the trope of like fated soulmates, and this like alien has traveled across the universe to find the soul that resonates with his own. However, there's a major twist, and it deviates from those tropes, and I just really appreciate that, because I'm not a big fan of the like soulmate fated to be trope. Like, sometimes it can work. I liked it in Sailor Moon enough in certain situations, but it's not like my favorite. And I also just really like the way it brings drama into the relationship pretty organically, and how it's resolved. So I think it's a perfectly sweet 2-volume series. I could have used more, but I'm happy with what I got. And the art's super fluffy too. Next up, we have So Cute It Hurts, complete in 15 volumes, and one of my absolute favorite cheesy shoujos. And this is so shoujo. It has such cute couples in it, I especially like the second couple with her brother, but it follows twins and they decide to trade places because the one is failing in history and the other is a history nerd. So when they trade places, they meet their prospective love interests, and hilarity and romance just never ending from there. It's so cute, but yes, it can be over the top. It can be cheesy, but I don't know why I'm a sucker for it. I have reread this series so many times. Next up, we have Komomo Confessari, which is complete in 5 volumes. And again, I have reread multiple times. I love Komomo. It's following a spoiled brat who ends up losing her money and having to work for the pastry chef her father used to employ's son, who is now also a pastry chef. I don't know why that's so difficult for me to say. And she has to learn like hard work and, you know, not to be a spoiled princess. Kind of gets her comeuppance, and he was kind of a little bit bullied by her, so he's not holding back. And I just think it's adorable, full of feels and cute moments. After that, another favorite of mine is Butterflies Flowers, complete at 8 volumes. This one is a more adult romance following 2 working adults. However, they have known each other since childhood as well. And they also have kind of a similar background to Komomo Confessari, where she used to be the lady, milady, and he used to be a servant. And now she is working under him. So role reversal. Power dynamic swap, and I love to see it. He also makes her life more difficult, but you can tell from the beginning he has a super soft spot for her, and it's a little bit more mature. There are some more smexy scenes between them, and I like it. I like it a lot. I haven't reread that one in a while, but it is one I would love to reread because I really enjoyed it. We have Shojo Beat. So Shojo Beat was an anime that I watched way back when. I really loved the anime. And although I'm not like a huge fan of like children in my manga, like I could take them or leave them type of feeling about them. But usually I'm a leave them kind of gal. Like I don't need kids in my romance. Like I just want to focus on the romance, right? But with this one, I think the kid in this is not only really cute and goes through her own character development and like growing up, but because she is kind of, I don't want to say pawned off because that sounds mean for the kid, but she is made to be our main character's responsibility, and he needs a lot of growing up. He's a little bit of a delinquent little shit. And so having this little kid to take care of and to console because of the situations in her family life, I think is a really great growing opportunity for them both. And he finds a romantic interest, and I love all 3 of them. I think they're just adorable. So yeah, I did read the manga. I almost forgot to say that when I bought it. And I enjoyed the manga just as much as I remembered enjoying the anime. The last 2 are just 2 short complete series. I do love me a duology. Like a good duology, it's just really fun to reread because it's that little hit of dopamine and adorableness. And these 2, like Meteor Prince, are really cute to me. First up, we have Beastmaster. This is a bit out there one. He grew up in the wild. He's not tamed, quote unquote. And yeah, he finds his master. A girl who can tame him, who's not afraid of him. I think it's cute. It's definitely out there, but it's enjoyable to me at least. I recognize that it's not the best. There's some tropes and some things that are messy with it, but it's a fun little mess. And the other one is Backstage Prince. This one's a bit more typical. We have a guy who's kind of famous and a girl who ends up kind of becoming an assistant who I believe was a fan. I could be wrong on that. And he is pretty cold, like the typical like cold male protagonist who, you know, she slowly warms him up to. But you know, just cute, more run-of-the-mill 2-volume series. Moving on to the fourth shelf, and a double-packed doozy, if I do say so myself. I'll start in the back. So we have this one-shot, Ion, or Eon. I don't know exactly. I would pronounce it Ion, but yeah. Also by Arina Tanamura, who did Full Moon that we went over before. I have read this one shot. I enjoyed this one shot. It was short, sweet, little fantasy vibes. Yeah. Also by Arina Tanamura, we have one of my favorites by her that I've read so far, Time Stranger Kyoko. I just really like this one. You know I like me my time shenanigans, obviously. So, you know, it ticked the boxes for me. What can I say? But yeah, it's also short and sweet, complete at 3 volumes. And rounding off the ones I've actually read, we have Mistress Fortune, another cute short fantasy vibes one shot. I just, that cute kawaii style gets me every time. Next to that, we have Flower in a Storm, which is actually complete at 2 volumes. I only have the first volume, and actually I got the first volume twice because my friend sent it to me. I believe I kept her copy that she sent to me, but I could be wrong. Because I do like the first volume, I think it should be a standalone. I don't need the second volume. I wasn't a fan of the second volume, so I unhauled the second volume. I also just don't think this is that great, so I could probably just unhaul this too, but I don't know. At this point, I feel like I need to reread the first volume and see how I feel, because it's been a while. But yeah, it's just that rich guy who can't take no for an answer and decides he wants to marry a particular girl. And then we have this adorable one-shot, Be With You. This one is so cute. It is a love story and a supernatural mystery, and is about the wife who has sadly passed away returning from beyond as a ghost. And yeah, it's really cute. It's really sweet. It's so bittersweet though, of course, like very, very sad, but touching. I love this one. And last one shot over here, we have Heaven's Will. This one's like mediocre at best, but I will say this is probably my first foray into manga where a male character cross-dresses, and I really found I liked that. I want my man in a dress, what can I say? They look so cute. They look so cute. So yeah, a girl that can see ghosts, and a young cross-dressing exorcist. It's nothing super special, but again, it just, I think it awakens something in me. It's a cross-dressing awakening. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say, so I'm gonna put that back. Last up on top, we have The Young Master's Revenge, complete at 4 volumes. Again, if it was longer, I wouldn't care for it and I would unhaul it. I think it's fine at 4 volumes. I appreciate the ending of it because it doesn't do the typical shoujo. I mean, obviously, like, it does because of certain things, but it also focuses on the career paths and stuff of the main characters. So I don't know, I appreciate when they do that a little more. But yeah, it's just this guy who felt like he got picked on by this girl when they were younger, and so he's going to take his revenge. It's also kind of similar to Masamune-kan's revenge, where he doesn't realize that he actually really just likes the girl, and yeah, and it's cute, but again, it's not like a standout to me. It's just because it's only 4 volumes, and I didn't dislike it. In the back row here, we have High School Debut, 3 volumes. That's all I ever collected. This was one I collected when I was younger. I never cared to collect any more of it. I probably should just unhaul these 3 volumes, but it's kind of nostalgic to me because I would reread those 3 volumes over and over. I am a complicated person, okay? I don't care if something's complete if I like it at the point that I collected it to, and I don't care to see what happens after. I don't know what that is. I did this a lot when I started collecting manga though. Now I'm kind of like, well, bitch, you gotta finish the series. If you're gonna collect, you gotta collect it all. But I definitely am like someone that used to just buy little chunks, and if I was satisfied with that little chunk, especially when it came to romance, I wouldn't get the whole series. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, it's cute premise wise. I just didn't care because like the romanced, and I didn't want another, like, I forget how many volumes it's complete at. I'll put it right here. But at least another like 6 volumes of just them being a couple and the drama around it. Like, I didn't care for it. I didn't care to see what would happen with it. Next is Everyone's Getting Married. This is an incomplete series on my shelf. I think it's complete at 6 or 7 or 8 volumes. It's not terribly long, but I don't know that I want to collect it. I read the first volume, and then my friend gifted me volume 2 because I think she was on hauling. And I haven't read volume 2, and it's been a little while, and I'm like, well, I should read volume 1 and volume 2. See if I, A, want to finish collecting this one, or B, just want to unhaul it. I love the idea of a romance centered around people who don't want to get married, and yet I feel like this is a manga that is centered just around people going to get married. Like, why have that as your theme if you don't seem like you're going to stick to it? Even within the first volume. Like, nah, I don't want to get married. No, I want to get married. I can see the writing on the wall, bitch. You're going to get married. Like, I don't know. Like, I wanted one that, like, broke the mold more, I guess. And, like, at least presented a different option to getting married, or fleshed out a relationship that wasn't all about getting married. I don't know. Like, I just thought it had potential, and yet it went nowhere with its topic, its, like, theme it presented. Yeah. Next up, we have Stepping on Roses, volumes 1 through 3. It is complete at, insert here. I thought about completing it, and then I did the thing that I do where I went, I like these 3 volumes. I don't really care for the rest. I have read the rest, though, of this one. I read all of it online. I like the beginning. I like the messy ass beginnings, and then they just kind of bore me as they go on. And that's what Stepping on Roses did. It's like a poor girl who is like trying to get her siblings out of poverty by like striking a deal with a rich a-hole, essentially. The Earl and the Fairy. We're going? You're gonna be mad at me again because I only have volumes 1 and 2, and it's also because I feel like it's complete at 2 volumes. I don't need the 4 volumes. I know it's complete at 4 volumes. I believe I read the other 2 volumes online. It's been a long time though, so I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure because I decided I don't care about the next 2 volumes because of that. It's short, sweet fantasy vibes, and I liked how it ended at volume 2. This is outing myself for a whole different reason I didn't even consider when I started this video. Why do I do this so much? Oh my gosh, it's so weird. Anyway, moving on to one that actually is complete, and I have completely read it. Oh, redeeming myself a little here with Honey So Sweet. This one is complete at 8 volumes, and I've read all of it. I think it's adorable, and it breaks the mold about not liking romance that they get together right away, because they get together pretty soon on in this series as well. If I'm remembering correctly. I think it's just super sweet. I love it. It's not toxic. It's not dramatic. It's not messy. It's just honey so sweet, like the title says. And the art is fluffy, and our main male protagonist is such a cutie pie. I love him. So yeah, I don't know. I can never quantify my type and what I'll like in a romance manga because if it works, it just works for me. And that's all I can say about it. Oh yeah, after that super sweet title, we got the super dramatic title that is We Were There. Oh boy. We Were There is complete at 16 volumes. I have all 16. And I read all 16. It's been a while, but oh boy, there's some triggering topics it touches on. There's some actually like more intense dramatic storylines. Like I'm thinking like Mars, maybe not quite as dramatic, but in that same vein where the main guy used to date a girl who then dies, and now this other girl is interested in him, but he's got all this baggage, and also feels kind of indebted to the younger sister of the girl he was dating. It's a whole messy shit in that one, but I liked it. I ate that shit up. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it just works. But it's very dramatic. It's got a lot of like little triggers, like self-harm and thoughts of self-harming and those type of things, and then obviously like the grief and the death and stuff. And so just be prepared, maybe do some research before getting into that one. It's an older one, and I just, yeah, for all the over like the top dramatic, it just still felt very grounded and believable and bittersweet. Like it felt realistically like this young love romance on the back of a terrible tragedy. And yeah, so lots of emotions in that one. We'll move back to Super Sweet with My Love Mix-Up. I just read this one in February, complete at 9 volumes, and it is super sweet. Again, we're just, I love this one so much. I love that it has a gay couple, which is not something I can say about 98% of these Shojo Beats, so it definitely stands out to me as a Shojo Beat title with LGBTQ representation, and also just damn good romance. Like, it's just a freaking sweet, adorable, hilarious, so many funny faces, misunderstandings that aren't dragged out but actually just develop the plot more, and just, yeah, it just ticks all the boxes for me. I had such a nice time with this one. And next to it, we have the longer, also equally adorable and comedic Takane and Hana, complete at 18 volumes. I have to make a major confession. I still have never finished Takane and Hana. It hurts me to admit that, because I read all the way, I want to say, to volume 12. I want to say that is where I stopped. I lost my driving force. It might have even been further than this, but I know I got pretty damn far in this series. And then I kept collecting them, and I was like, oh, the mood's gonna strike, I'm gonna pick it back up. I even bought both the regular edition and the special edition because they had different covers, and I love it. It's like Flower in a Storm, where there's a rich guy and he goes on this marriage date and meets this girl who's just standing in for her sister, but decides she's the girl for him and won't take no for an answer. It's a little bit, he's a little bit much, and it's also a big age gap, so like, yeah, know that. Because he was supposed to go on a date with her sister, and her sister was a baby about it, so she pretended to be a lot older than she is. She's actually a high school girl. So, and he's like a CEO or something, but like, he's a rich Nepo baby too, I think. And he's so much, yet he's so funny, and their relationship is so comedic. Like, up until like here, wherever I dropped off, they were still just so funny. And there was like, I wouldn't say no romance, but it was very light on the romance and very comedy heavy, as it kind of should be, because they really shouldn't be dating in my opinion, but I still liked it nonetheless because of the characters. They were just hilarious to me. I found them very endearing, and they grew on me a lot, and their relationship was cute. But yeah, it's a weird one too. I can't deny that. Next up, we're going back to more Kaori with Grand Gyeongnol Orchestra. I probably butchered Grand Gyeongnol Orchestra. I feel like it should be prettier sounding than that, so I'm probably saying it wrong. But I have not read this one yet. I think I collected it last year. I decided to finish collecting Kaori works because I only had a couple left that I didn't have that were printed in English. So I bought that one, and then I also bought the Kane Saga, which is complete at 4 volumes, but it does have the direct sequel to that, that is Godchild, which is complete at 8 volumes. And neither of those have I read yet. No, I haven't. I'm sorry. So moving right into our second to last shelf here, after Godchild, we have Aoharu Ride or Blue Spring Ride. I read Aohara Ride online. If you ask me honestly if I ever finished it, I would honestly have to tell you, I do not know. I got very far into the series, but did I finish it? I can't remember, but I also love the anime. I'm sad that I didn't keep going with it, but I also like what they did cover in the anime kind of before it becomes more shoujo cliches and add the love triangle and stuff. It's not my favorite, and that might be why I never finished it. If I never finished it, it's complete at 13 volumes. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I read the 13th volume when I got it. And I think it's really cute. I don't know. I honestly, when I'm really ashamed to say, I don't know if I finished this one. The other series by Io Sakisaka that I have finished collecting, that is Strobe Edge, complete at 10 volumes, and I have read that, okay? I have. I read it in its entirety when I bought all the volumes. I thought it was really cute. This one also kind of has some like love triangles going on, but I liked it better, in my opinion, than in Blue Spring Ride. It's just a personal preference. I just also really don't love the love triangles. Then we have the one sole volume I have of the story of Sayunkoku. Sayunkoku? Is that how we say this? I don't know. I finally read the first volume, this volume, and I really liked it. And then I realized how hard it was to get a particular volume or two in the series, and I just... Sadly, yeah. I would love it if it was reprinted, because I realized I really dig the like historical fiction romantasy, you know, with the period costumes and everything, period dress and everything. Like, it scratches an itch for me. And I just wish I had read it earlier on and before it kind of started getting OP. There's always a chance I could track it down, and get it for an okay deal. So yeah, but because I've only read the first volume, I'm like, I don't want to spend too much not knowing if I'll love the whole series. I'm not sure how long it actually is. I'll put it up here, but yeah, sadly, this is all I own, but I did read it. So that's something. These are just random ass Japanese and one German volume of 2 different series by Go Ikeyamada, who did So Cute It Hurts that I love, and I read both of these online. Actually, my first experience with this mangaka was Mohair. I love Mohair. Talk about a love triangle done right. To me, perfect. The other one is Suku Desu Suzuki-kun. I just grabbed random volumes in the slot way back when on eBay. Some of it is the light novel. Some of it is the manga. Yeah, I didn't really care. I just wanted something from the series. I also read this one online. I also really like this one. This one was the second one I read. And it's about these two, and then the others are the side love interests. And their romance that has to overcome amnesia and tragedy, and yeah, it's dramatic. This one's very much the most dramatic one, I'd say, out of the bunch, but I still like it. I still think it's good. It still compelled me. I did love the second pairing better as well, just like with So Cute It Hurts. I don't know what's wrong with me, but oh well. I like the main pairing, like 2, don't get me wrong, but these 2 hit more, just like with the other one. And the very last shelf we have, on top we have Anonymous Noise, complete at 18 volumes. So I never finished Anonymous Noise. And there's a really good reason, in my opinion, why. I think if I just don't say who I liked better, it won't give it away, but there is, again, a love triangle. And in my humble opinion, she picks the wrong guy. She goddamn picks the wrong guy. Oh my God, the other guy is so much better for her. So much better of a guy. I mean, just in general. He's the guy. I do this thing sometimes, okay? Where I do flip ahead. I like to get excited. I like to get the vibe. And when I flipped ahead a little bit on the last volume as I was reading the series, I realized, oh damn, she don't end up with the guy I know she should end up with. It bothers me so much, especially when it's by the same mangaka. I'm not going to be able to remember the name of it. I only read it online. It's one I really, really loved. It's one that has animal ears, and probably was my awakening for my love of that. They're so cute. But it is this series. I will find it. And I loved that series. I need that series in print, in English. Please. I doubt it'll ever happen. But I was so excited when I saw another work by this mangaka. And I purchased it because of this series and because I wanted to support the mangaka and hope, some more got published by them. So it gave me a lot of hope because there are preferences. Like, obviously, when it comes to a love triangle, the mangaka is going to choose who they think is best. They're the writer. But if it doesn't align with who I think is best, it's just hard to get behind the pairing then. I mean, I think that's fair, right? And I had the false hope that since the other one went the direction I thought, and this one started in a similar vein where I thought, yeah, these two are going to end up together, and that they don't. It just disappointed me, and I haven't completed reading it because I am salty about it. And I know it's my own fault because I skipped ahead on it and skimmed through it because it's a romance, so it's not really giving anything away. And I thought I was quite confident with who she would end up with. Boy, was I a stupid, silly girl. Stupid, silly girl. And I know it's pretty selfish of me. I'm like, you need to be with the one I think you should be with. But I don't know. Am I crazy for that? Do you also feel that way with love triangles? Or can you support the pairing however way it pans out for you? Because I know I'm pretty picky. I know it's probably pretty lame, but whatever. I admit I'm lame. Underneath that, we have the complete yet incomplete SA, or Special Academy. So I got Special Academy because the mangaka is the same as Komomo Confessari, which I didn't realize, and I was super stoked to find out. And also because I watched the anime of Special A way back when. So one particular volume has sadly been out of print since I ordered them online way back when Right Stuff was alive and well. And though Crunchyroll did send me one of the 2 out of stock volumes, so that gave me some hope, it has now been another year and I haven't gotten that last volume I need to complete my series. It is complete at 17 volumes. I am just sadly missing volume 12 and I can't read it because if I start it and I get to volume 11 and there's no volume 12, and then I'll probably never finish it because that is who I am. Okay. What, should I just go online and read the 12th volume and then go back? Sure, yes, that's what I should do. But will I do it? No, probably not. Out in front here, we have Maid-sama. So Maid-sama is honestly one of the classic shoujos I never watched. I know, because a lot of people watched Maid-sama growing up. And I watched a lot of the ones around it at that time. And she was a tsundere, the dynamic, it's something I totally would have gone for. I don't know why. I never watched it. I did complete the omnibus versions, complete at 18 volumes. And I have not read it yet, honestly. On top of that, we have Lovecom, or Lovely Complex. Again, I did the thing I do where I just bought the first 7 volumes of this long complete series, complete at this many volumes. I watched all the anime and I really like the anime, but I especially like the beginning of the anime. So again, when I started collecting manga, and I was buying the manga of the animes I really liked, I was like, I only want to buy the first 7. Now it's super out of print and I can't buy it if I wanted to. Why do I do this to myself? I don't know. I would like to have it because it's one of my favorite anime, shoujo anime. So I just want to punch myself. Like if I could reach through time and punch myself at one, well, there's a lot of times I would have punched myself. But that time when I decided to only buy the first 7 volumes of Lovely Complex, that would have been a time I reached through time and punched myself and was like, bitch, buy them all. You'll regret it if you don't. Again, Viz has reprinted Red River. It's giving me like the littlest of hope they might reprint some of their other older Shojo Beat series. Is Lovely Complex classic enough, beloved enough for them to consider reprinting it? I don't know. I love it, but time will tell. Behind that, we have Beauty Pop, complete at 10 volumes. This is, I really liked it. It's not romance heavy. It's more slice of life, school life with romance in it, but it's about a beauty school or a school with a beauty program in it. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it centers around being a beautician or wanting to be a beautician and like hairdresser and stylist and like all those like things. And I always really like when they center around fashion or, you know, the beauty industry for some reason. I'm not like a huge fashion or beauty person, like, you know, like makeup, hair, all that stuff. Like I like it, I just like am lazy, so I don't put enough effort into it. And I also don't have the money to put it. I spend my money on this shit, you know? Priorities, am I right? But I like manga that does focus on it a lot of times, so I think that's why I really like it. But I did read it. It's been a long time since I read it, and what I remember anyway is really enjoying it. Beneath that is A Devil and Her Love Song. I loved A Devil and Her Love Song in the beginning. I just felt like it dragged on a bit, okay? There's also a love triangle. I love the art. I love a lot of aspects about it. This one centers around music. Maria is very musically gifted. I was getting kind of bored of it. And it's going to be the second one that I say I do not remember if I finished it when I finished collecting the series. The series is complete at 13 volumes. And when I do this, I want to say it's probably no. Like I probably don't remember completing it because I probably didn't complete it. Aoharu Rides harder because I read it online, so like you don't have the distinct volumes to be like, yes, I read all these volumes. However, with A Devil and Her Love Song, I'm gonna guess that the answer is no, that I never finished it. I probably did the thing where I was collecting and reading and collecting and reading, and then I kind of got bored, but I was like, oh, but I have to finish collecting it, because after my stint of I will only collect until I don't care anymore about the story was my current feelings on I must finish completing everything I buy. Like I must. So yeah, I did complete collecting it. I want to say I probably didn't finish reading it, if I'm being honest. Did I probably read pretty far into it? Yeah, I'm guessing like to volume 9 at least, but I don't know. I'd have to reread it. I'd have to start it over again at this point, see if I even want to keep it in the future. So we'll see. We'll see. It's just chilling down there at this point, so it's not hurting anybody. I don't know when I'll get to it, honestly. We have Phantom Thief Jean that is also by Arina Tanamura, and is one of the series I haven't read. It's complete at 5 volumes, and yeah, I don't know why I haven't read it. I think I put it down there because it fit down there, but it also makes me forget that it is even down there. So that wasn't the smartest, but yeah, I have nothing to say on it because I haven't read it yet. editing me here, realizing I completely missed Sweet Rain. This is a complete 3-volume series. It takes place around Christmas, and it's nothing super special, but because of Christmas, my favorite holiday, I obviously had to keep it. And yeah, it's cute, but yeah, I can't believe I forgot to mention this series. So anyway, here is a little peek into it. And lastly, I had room for one more, so I chucked this ×2 one-shot down there. This is just a one-shot about different love stories, you know, a compilation of short stories all revolving around love. I think it's cute. Yeah, I don't remember it too well, but I remembered that when I did read it, whenever that was, I did enjoy it. So yeah. Again, I'd have to reread it to know whether I want to keep it forever or unhaul it at this point, because when I read it way back when, I was just keeping anything because I didn't have that much, so I didn't feel the need to unhaul. I know I said lastly, but then I realized I do have these 3 Japanese volumes I got when I was in Japan. I just happened to stumble upon them. So lucky, because I love Oran Girl. Like, if I could ask for one shoujo to be printed, it's close between Mochair and this one, but I think it would be this one, because I think the vibes of this one are just so good, and the romance is really good to me. I mean, again, we have like a very historical fiction setting. We have the Oran geisha kind of costumes. I just really like it. And I like the vibe of the historical time period. And I gotta say, there is also cross-dressing in this one. The guy cross-dresses. And he knew her when she was rich before, as a kid. I do have specific tropes I like, okay? I can acknowledge that. But anyway, I sadly only could find these 3, and then I believe the 5th volume. That's what I remember, because I'll double check myself, but I'm pretty sure it's complete at 5 volumes. So on the shelf was sadly only 1, 2, 3, and 5. So I was torn between, okay, do I buy 1, 2, 3, and 5 and have the whole, or just buy the first 3 volumes? And I decided to just buy the first 3 volumes. Also limited room, you know, and all that, so. But oh my god, the guys are gorgeous, the girls are gorgeous, everybody's gorgeous in this one. And if somebody could please print this in English, I would be indebted to that publisher forever until my dying day. That's all I have to say on that one. One of my top favorite shoujos that hasn't been printed, sadly, and I love it so much. So yeah, that will do it. We have gone through my second romance shelf and my Shojo Beat shelf. There is more Shojo Beat in my collection, but I crammed as much of the series as I could on this one that are complete, even if I don't have them complete, which I know, again, stupid choices were made. But yeah, maybe I'll tackle the rest of my romance shelves, or go back to my other room and do some more action adventure type shelves when I next need a more chill type video to do. But I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know what you read, what you are ashamed I haven't read yet on my shelf, and anything else you want to share with me down below. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye!